What's going on? Adjusting the camera. There we go. I think that's right. Coffee? Coffee is ready. Cat is ready. Here we go. Time for a show. Three, two, one. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Monday, August 31st, 2020. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. It's very hot. Yeah. Wow. Good times. Hope everybody's well. Hope you're starting the week off right. I am not looking forward to today. Today is making me very nervous. Before I go into today, I'll tell you what happened this weekend. Spent a little bit of time working outside. I trimmed back the grape leaves that have covered my bedroom windows. Literally, they were covered. Now I can see out them again, which is nice. I have, I don't know, a few gallons of grapes that I need to decide what to do with, and there are plenty more that are still ripening. I did some other work outside. Went for a walk, went to Costco, slept in, went to brunch, went to the gym. It was a pretty good weekend, pretty quiet. Nothing really dramatic to report. Oh, I cleaned the garage up last night, because that's what I do on a Sunday night. I clean the garage. Yeah, it was good. It was good. The critters in the roof are calming down, which I'm pretty sure means they're dying off. Which is sad that I have to do that, but I have to do that. Anything else happen this weekend? Anything else worth reporting? I don't think so. Well, today, so the major piece to today is that I'm having some dental work done. If you've been watching the show for a while, you know that there were some issues a couple months ago, and those issues are resulting in this tooth here is a crown. This crown is getting replaced. It's not getting replaced today. I'm getting a root canal today. And they're doing the work they need to do to prepare the new crown, because it's going to go on a post or something. I think that's, yeah. They're making a new, they're taking the impression they got to do to make the crown today. They're pulling off this crown, getting a root canal, and then I guess this crown's going back on, and then in a couple weeks I go back and they put the new crown on, and I give them all of my money. I think that's the piece that's frustrating the most, is that this is an expensive process. On the plus side, it could be worse. Well, could be worse. So what else am I doing? Because obviously that doesn't take the entire day. I've booked off the entire day. When I'm done here, I got to record a Thursday episode. I got to do a couple intros and outros. Get those over to Julius. I might do one quick thing, other quick thing. And then I will head north to Panera to work on some other projects there. There's a bunch of stuff that needs to be done. And if I'm here, I won't do any of it. Between Monday and the other stuff going on today, I'm just... yeah. There should be it's a big week. It's a big week. Tomorrow's the first of the month, and it's the first Tuesday of the month, which means it's Whistlekick Live. So mark your calendars. It will be the 12th. 12th. It's such a weird word. 12th. That F doesn't need to be in there. The 12th, 12th could be 12th. Doesn't have to be 12th. Anyway, as I pick apart English grammar or English, not quite etymology. Anyway, first Tuesday of the month, 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook. We do that show. So make sure you come by. It's fun. Plenty of people in the chat, and the show has slowly shifted over time. We keep finding what works, what doesn't work, and it's your opportunity to engage with me and with other people from the Whistlekick audience. It's a good time. And what am I doing here? Oh, I'm bringing up YouTube to see whose episode is out today. Yay, coffee. Nope, that's the wrong button. It's early. I go on autopilot. Press the wrong buttons. Oh, Sensei Ron Kluger. I really liked him. This was a fun one. So, Sensei Ron Kluger, Ronnie, as he asked me to call him, has a really interesting job. He lives in Israel. And he's got a job that I don't know anybody else who has this job. I've never even heard of someone having this job. And it's incredibly relevant to what we do as martial artists, or if we were in Israel, it would be. Everybody who trains martial arts in Israel, in some way, directly or indirectly, no, directly, everybody who trains in some form of martial art in Israel is no more than 1 degree of separation from Ronnie Kluger. That is really interesting. So check out that episode. I get sneeze. Excuse me. Oh. Right, cat? Cat says right. What else? What else am I supposed to tell you? I don't think anything. I got a bunch of work to do. So now, here's something interesting that I'll share with you. I share on the show a little bit more than I do elsewhere. Feels a little more intimate. I'm in my living room. I'm in a bathrobe. While the show continues to grow, it's not nearly as large as anything else we do. So I feel a little more confident in just being open. I've been pretty open, and increasingly so, about the anxiety that I deal with. Monday's the worst day, generally. With what's going on today, it's a little bit worse. But over the weekend, I think I came up with a strategy that has been helpful. For me, my anxiety has to do with what's coming in the future. What all the work I have to do, money, it's all future. So I've been forcing myself, what's going on right now? Where am I at right now? And what do I have to feel grateful about at this moment? I'm drinking a good cup of coffee. I've got a purring cat next to me. I'm wearing a warm bathrobe in my cozy home in the woods. And I've given so much to people's lives that some of you wake up and have a cup of coffee with me. How do I not feel grateful in that moment? That has helped a lot with the anxiety. So when it starts to race up, that's what I've been doing. Maybe that strategy might work and be helpful for some of you. Oh, you know what else happened? You know what else happened this weekend? Got confirmation. So when I wrote the Martial Artist Handbook, there was a method that I used to write it. And it was a little bit different than the way most people are going to write a book. I recorded it in voice first, but I didn't just read old episodes. And yes, if you go through Martial Artist Handbook, you will see that most of the material has been covered. But I wanted to use what I had done before in episodes as an outline. So, hired somebody. Actually, we'd already had him on staff. He was already doing scripts, outlines for episodes that I was doing. I did a great job. And when it came time to do the book, I said, I need you to listen through these episodes and just do rough outlines on them. Because quite a few of them were episodes I just verbalized. So from that outline, I recorded the book in audio. And I found this guy is just an awesome researcher. His English is phenomenal. And the ideas for more books have been building up. But a couple of them have been books that I think would do well, not only within the whistlekick audience, but more broadly. And sad to say, that's where the money would be. A book for everyone. And so I've got this book idea that has been brewing for over a year. And I reached out and I said, would you want to help with this? Because he had quit sounds too strong, but he was getting married and all this, and he didn't have time. And he said, my wife's pregnant with twins. She's on bed rest, and I could really use the money. Timing is perfect. So, I've got my book partner back. So we're going to start working on that book. I think it's going to be a great book. I really do. I like the format of it. It's something that's pretty unique. So that's exciting. It's exciting. I like contributing to that stuff. I like teaching. I like sharing my knowledge with others. All right. Now, let's see what we got to talk about today. Today, it looks like we've got 4 quotes from Frank. Thank you, Frank, as always. If you have something you want to ask me, make sure you drop it below in the comments after the show. And I'll talk about it tomorrow. Could be a quote, could be a question, whatever you want it to be. And as a reminder, Frank is the amazing producer for this show. He's the one that makes sure I always have stuff to talk about. He's the one that cleans it up on YouTube. He's the one who makes sure it's available in audio form. If you're ever stuck that you can't watch, you can still listen. Martial arts is like a mirror in which you look at yourself before you wash your face in the morning. You see yourself simply the way that you are. Jiddu Krishnnamurti. Jiddu Krishnnamurti. I'm not confident in how I'm pronouncing that name, but doing my best. Martial arts is like a mirror in which you look at yourself before you wash your face in the morning. You see yourself simply the way that you are. You can't hide who you are as a martial artist. Not if you're training and really training. If you are someone who, if you get scared easily, that's going to come out. If you're cocky, that'll come out. Any flaws you have and any assets that you bring to life, to the world, will come through in your training. And everyone will know who they are. Everyone will know who you are. I suppose that's one of the things that some people can't handle. It's vulnerable to be there, to train and let everyone around you see what makes you tick. That can be scary. That can be really scary. But I think it's important. She's got a very low, subtle purr this morning. She says, it sounds like You know what it sounds like? If you've ever been on a boat, a small boat with an outboard motor, and it's idling, and it does that. You know, it sounds like it's just about to die. That's what she's doing, but much quieter. If I was to record this and amplify the volume, it would very much sound like a boat motor. What's next? It's hard to fight an enemy who has outposts in your head. Sally Kempton. Oh, that's a brilliant quote. It's hard to fight an enemy who has outposts in your head. So many ways that we could take this. We can think of this as the enemies in life, or the power that you allow others to have over you by letting their beliefs or ideas or judgments exist in your mind. Or we can think of this strictly in terms of a training or self-defense combative aspect, and allowing your partner or opponent to worm their way in there psychologically. You know, this is why, one of the reasons why, before any organized fight, there's trash talk. People trying to get in other people's heads. Trying to set expectations or judgments that will negatively impact their opponent's performance. This reminds me of something. When people say, "You made me feel," and the frustrating yet very correct response of, no one can make you feel, right? How you feel, that's up to you. How you react, that is up to you. And if you want a very well-acted, long drawn-out movie scene about this, it's Training Day. There's a part in Training Day with Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington, which is a wonderful movie. Very violent, but very good film. And there's a part towards the middle where Ethan Hawke is sitting on a couch, and there's a story, and he says, you have to control your smiles and cries, because that's all you really have. That's true. Your responses, your reactions, it's all you have. When you spar with someone, 100% of what you do is reacting to that other person, or at least it should be. And whether you realize it or not, it probably is. You're reacting to their distance. You're reacting to something. So to be aware that you are reacting, to control those reactions in training, out of training, it's pretty important. Far easier said than done, but still important. Next. Judo is the way to the most effective use of both physical and spiritual strength. Jigoro Kano. Judo is the way to the most effective use of both physical and spiritual strength. I think we can swap out judo for martial arts, and I wonder what Kano would think. I wonder what he would think of martial arts today. Of course, when he was active, martial arts wasn't as broadly practiced by everyone, and there weren't the variety of choices, and with the exception of judo, I would say 95% of what unfortunately we can include judo with those numbers. 95% of what we train as martial arts today did not exist in Jigoro Kano's time. Something to keep in mind. Karate was barely practiced. And in fact, in his time, if I'm remembering my timeline correctly, Wasn't even called karate. Taekwondo didn't exist. Kung Fu did. So maybe my percentage is wrong. But the majority of martial arts. Martial arts is, let's say, see now I've talked myself into enough of a circle that I forgot. The most effective use, there we go, of both physical and spiritual strength. There are plenty of ways to practice physical strength. Lots of ways to practice spiritual strength or mental strength or emotional strength, whatever you want to call it. Not a lot of ways to practice both. Martial arts continuously gives you these challenges to overcome. They're always there. That's an opportunity. Got one more. Treat everyone with love and respect because they are your brother or your sister. Ryron Gracie. Ryron Gracie. There we go. Ryron? I'm going to say Ryron Gracie. Treat everyone with love and respect because they are your brother and sister. If you look for reasons to dislike someone or hate something or exclude something, you will always find it. Always. If I sit down with my best friends, the people I love the most, and if we look deeply enough, we will find something that we fundamentally disagree on. Should I cast them aside for that? Because that's what seems to be happening in society today. We are all very impassioned about a number of things, and we are looking for reasons to discount what others do and where they're at. To say, because you disagree with me on this, I can no longer speak to you. That ends up pretty lonely. You know what else it ends up? People not being honest about their beliefs for fear of reprisal. It's not a good place to be. What's the other side? Look for reasons to love people, to be kind to people, to welcome them. There are plenty of those. I have a number of friends who have dramatically different beliefs on a number of things. Here's a great example. I am a pescatarian. That's a vegetarian who also eats fish. The reason I eat fish is because that was a compromise with my body on health. That's a whole different subject. I do not choose to avoid beef and chicken and pork for health reasons, but for ethical reasons. It's a pretty strong belief. It's been years since I've eaten those things. It's important to me. What about most of my friends? They're not vegetarians. They eat beef and chicken and pork and whatever. Have I cast all of those people aside? Just said, I don't want to be around you? No. I do what works for me. Other people do what works for them. Even if it was important to me to get others to change their beliefs, leading by example is traditionally the best way. We see that in martial arts. The instructor who demonstrates the techniques has the best students. The instructor who simply describes the movements, their students aren't as good. Frank says, how dull and boring would it be if we were all the same? Completely agree. By being different, by having conversations around our differences, not just identifying the pros and cons, but by celebrating those differences, we can find things that we enjoy. We can learn from each other. We do this in martial arts, at least healthy martial arts training incorporates this. If I spar with you, maybe you're a kung fu guy and I'm a karate guy, and that's all we've ever done, and we spar, and there are certain things I implement better than you do, we might compare notes after. I might help you learn from my experiences. Doesn't mean you're going to go away saying karate is better, kung fu is a joke, but your kung fu gets better because of my karate. I can sit down and have a conversation with someone about let's say the ethics or morality of meat. Might I change my mind? It's possible. It's unlikely, but I'm not going to close the door on that. But instead of going in with that mindset, I go in with the mindset of learning. How can this person teach me something? So when we look at what's going on in the world, and we look at all the mass discount of others' beliefs, I hope you're not doing that. I hope that you are open enough as a person to listen. Doesn't mean you have to accept somebody else's opinion. Yet recognize, if you were born to the same parents and raised by the same people, there's nature, there's nurture. You would likely have the same beliefs. Forget likely. You would have the same beliefs. So the next time you look at someone who believes something differently from you, recognize that it is almost not within their control. We can all change, we can all evolve, we can all grow, but our ability to evolve and grow comes as a result of who we were born to and how we were raised. Compassion matters. Understanding matters. Creating space for alternate beliefs is important. There is no way forward without mutual understanding and respect and compromise. And when I look at what's going on in the world today, I am nervous, because everything I see is taking us in the other direction. So it's about as close to a political statement as I'm going to get. Now, I quieted down the hydroponic system, but it does that last 30-second gurgle as it discharges. Actually, as the water flows back through. I've got little bits of kale and lettuce growing. Nothing worth showing yet. I'm going to go. I'm going to go have another cup of coffee. I'm going to listen to the news and prepare for my day. I hope you'll go listen to that episode of Martial Arts Radio. I hope you will leave me some comments for tomorrow's episode of First Cup. I hope you will join me tomorrow for Whistlekick Live. Again, Facebook, 8 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, you can catch it later. We put it back up on YouTube for Wednesday, and the audio shows up next week. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Take care. Peace.